In this small tutorial, we're going to carve this stuck body out a little bit better by shaping the sides, the breast, the tail, and underneath where it sits flat. So with any type of wood, you have to follow the grain. So a lot of times you put yourself like an imaginary line all the way down if you wanted to. And with that you can judge on which way you need to go with your knife. So anything on this side of the line, you need to bring your knife this way. Anything on this side of the line, you need to bring your knife this way. That way you don't take big chunks out, or in worst case hurt yourself, because these are old. I hand make these. These are old straight blade razors, and they are sharp, very sharp. So with that being said, always watch what you're doing. I always tell people, just like my mentor used to tell me, you're making, for instance, this is going to be a canvas back. You're making a canvas back, you're not making a redhead. So just always watch your blade. So we'll get these sides done, and then we'll start working on the breast. Sorry about that. The type of wood that I'm using is white pine. These are actually pieces of, these are leftover pieces that one of the other carvers was just going to toss, and I was like, oh, let me take them, I'll use them. But normally I have blocks that I can cut out sections specifically to fit these. So kind of get these saw marks out. So this, as you can see, is carved out by hand. Same thing with rounding all the other edges. The only thing that I use the bandsaw for is to cut out the beginning shape, using patterns like we have here. We even have patterns for the heads that we use as well. So on the breast, it's a little square right now. We just want to make sure that we round this part up, not too much, because the rest of it we can do on the drum sander. So to be perfect to start out, you're just taking chunks off to get it rounded. why it seems a little bit harder is because I'm going across the grain, which you got to be careful with. And forgot that little piece right there. Okay. So as you can see there, it's rounded much better than what it was before. So from there, we leave this shelf spot flat. This is not a canvas back head, but this is a mallard head. And you can see that it'll sit right on top there. So you can kind of get a glimpse of what it'll look like when it's done. Actually, you know what, let me do it something better. I have a sanded one here, so it looks a little bit better, so you can see. So just like that. All these heads are hand sanded. Just because I don't have a small enough belt sander. We're in the process of having somebody make one. That way I can get in here and into this neck. I might not worry about too much on the neck with the belt sander, but that's what I use. 3M's flexible sandpaper. I love this stuff. This stuff works great. Due to the fact that you can, so flexible, you can roll it up that you need to and get into that tight area with that neck. So, wrong. So now, once we got the breast rounded up, and we can start working on the tail. I always work on the bottom portion of the tail first, and then work on the top. That way I can get to a start shape down here. So just like you would before, you follow that line on which way your knife is going. And you round that up. Same thing this way. And you round it just like that. If you need to round or kind of clean this up in here a little bit, do it. This is the best time to do it. So we even do here. It's not as much, just a little bit of a kick, just to kind of almost blend this in, so to speak. And that's also where you can start shaping, like you see here. And there we go. So that rounded that up. Just a little bit. You don't want it rounded a lot. These are made to look old. Well, not too old, but in the old style. This is also a place where you can look at this tail, and for me, I can see that this side is at a different angle than this side. So this is the time to clean it up a little bit. That way, once you're done, and you can still clean it up going this way as well. That way it's rounded. You can see a little bit of that curvature on both sides of the tail. So now we go ahead and work on this. You'll get a couple big pieces, which is fine, and then you kind of just bring it in. Just like that. Kind of round it out just a little bit. You can see there. See how this side's still square? This side's rounded. So, go ahead with the other side. Remember, as you're following your line,